known. I'm talking GH. Why is taking it? There you go. Come on, hurry up. I can't keep having no dead air. Redirecting to YouTube. Okay, here we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the GH Space Spotlight here on JLJ Media. I am one of two hosts for the show.
The more handsome and talented one, right?
I disagree. I think you're the more handsome, talented one. The heartthrob of the group. I've been saying for 9 years, Frank Moran.
Oh, that's gonna make me cry.
yeah. Frank Moran's here, folks, and so am I. We're here to talk about General Hospital. Before we do that, I have some church announcements, as you know we usually do. This is your hospital. This is JLJ Media. This is the Loves of Your Life. We are not doing Wine Iron Bold for a while. I'm taking a break from them, and that's until further notice. So watch all episodes until we decide to do it again. Also, I do have other audio I do have audio dramas too, but I also have other soap recaps. You can check out Dallas, Knots Landing, Falcon Crest, Dynasty, all my children live to live. You can check those out. I talk about all kinds of stuff. Now with Falcon Crest and Knots Landing on Plex TV, it's been a lot of fun. People are checking out the episodes, and we're talking all things Knots Landing and Falcon Crest. So check out those while you're sitting around waiting for us on Sundays. Also, check out our old episodes of Wide Arm Bold and Beautiful and our old episodes of GH. We have years of content, and including Nicholas Chavez, who, of course, we're going to talk about that in a second, who's big right now this weekend. But we have interviews with me and Tammy have interviews with him from the Emmys when he won his Emmy before and after. Check that one out also. And Kelly Monaco and Laura Ryan. We have all the interviews you want. You can check those out while we're here. And also, Michelle Stafford, who just celebrated a birthday and celebrated 30 years off and on YNR. We actually have her many times with us over the years here on GH. So you check out those interviews too. She's a lot of fun. She's around 30-something years, Frank, in the business.
That's man, what an incredible run.
And we met her about 10 years ago, so about 9 years ago. So that's when we met her. So
and she's got a great skincare line.
Her skincare line and it's going really well too. So Michelle's a hard worker. She's working it out. So in there. Hello, everybody who's in the chat. Thanks for coming in. Also, speaking of Nicholas Chavez, on this, I'll make sure I explain this correctly. On this channel, JLJ Media, we are covering the Monsters show, Eric and Lyle Menendez, with Nicholas Chavez. But I'm not covering it. It's Matt and Kat from 10-4GH who are covering it. So here's the deal, Frank. They're doing the video live on their channel, 10-4 Podcast, and then they give me the audio version. So the number one show today on my network is the Monsters After Show. So thank you so much for actually listening to it on my channel.
Oh, look at that.
Yes. Have you watched any of it, Frank?
I've not watched either. I haven't read reviews on the Aaron Hernandez one, but I read reviews on the Menendez Bros, and it wasn't quite. It was kind of a disappointing review. So
I'm liking it so far. So you binge season 1 Knots Landing, then go to my stuff. The Monsters Netflix podcast is good. Yeah, they're doing a good job. But as Frank just pointed out, I'm doing the Aaron Hernandez podcast because I was a fan of his back in the day, and so I've read the books and everything. And I think I have one of the books right here from James Patterson. This is actually a good book.
Oh
man. So I'm doing that after show. So the Aaron Hernandez after show and the Monsters after show both are here on JLJ Media. So and that one's interesting also. I just started watching it. So, well, it just came out. But they both are the number one shows on Netflix and Hulu right now.
Interesting. If you had to choose between the two, which did you enjoy more?
They're both Ryan Murphy. I would say Monsters because it was more graphic. It's more graphic, and the story is, I mean, they start out with that story and go forward where, spoiler alert, where in Hernandez, there's a beginning that's they kind of start with the actual shot but they're doing his backstory.
Hmm.
So it's more exciting the other because they're going straight from they're just going right into it. Where this one's taking a little more time, but they're both Ryan Murphy shows. Is very interesting. They're both doing very well. Ryan Murphy's working it out. You've seen the whole minute season. You finished yesterday. Wow. Yeah, I haven't. They're on episode 5 so far. We have those here. I'm on episode 2 of the Aaron Hernandez. So we're working that out, kids. There's soapy. So you want some more soap content? There's soapy. I'll tell you that. Also, if you weren't with us 3 nights ago, me, Candace Mack, and Walker Ragsdale, we did the Daytime Today live. All the soap news that's out, Frank. It's already it's I think it's close to 1,000 views already. I guess it's done a great. We're very happy for everybody tuning in. Yes, some controversy has been spilled. People are yelling at us in the comments. I love it. Continue to yell. We don't care. Frank too. Me, Walker, and Candace don't care if you yell at us. Don't care. We tell you what we know. And it's out now. So if you haven't listened or watched it, check that out. We talk about all my children's Lifetime movies coming out. Talk about now it's called Frank Beyond the Gates. Beyond the Gates.
Oh, interesting. All right.
And we also talk about the Kelly Monaco. We talk about a lot of stuff. So check that out. There's a lot of soap news out there right now. So check that out. We talk about all that.
And how much do you love just Susan Lucci? Always just her photo, always trotted out.
Yes, it
is. There's all my children talk.
Well, they're going to do the Christmas movie first. So I don't know what that means or who's going to be in it. We have no idea. And also, the Gates released 3 names for their series. Tamara Tooney being one of them. Many of you know her from Law and Order or from As the World Turns. So she's going to be the matriarch of the Black family, the Duprees, which is actually my family name, my father's side, Dupree.
Oh, nice.
My father's Creole side. They're Duprees and Rochelle's.
Is this your life story, James, that we're seeing?
That's not my life story. I know of. Michelle, I call Michelle. But that's all that. So I would take all that. And last but not least, of course, Edition Days is on today, later at 3 p.m. My chocolate twin, Tony Moore, serving up Edition Days. He met Peter Reckle. And I was on the phone with him when he met him. And Peter was so happy to meet him. I heard his voice, like, oh my God, Peter Reckle. Because Bo and Hope are back, which, makes me just like want to cry because I love Hope so much. They're filming on Days right now. And Days filmed 6 months in advance. So Tony gave him an Edition Days award that he's been holding on to for like 6 months. And he met him at the studio. I was on the phone with them, and he didn't know Peter was going to come out. And so go to Edition Days or Tony's page. You'll see a picture of them.
It's awesome.
I know. Very cool. He's a legend.
Is that an arbinger for a James Lott Jr. appearance on Dishing Days?
Tony said no.
Oh. Wow. Man, he's really being tough. Really big.
Tony's like, no, you left the show, so you don't get nothing.
You don't get to come out and just talk about the good actors when they show up.
Right, exactly. I'll get up. You won't let me do that. So there you go, kids. But no, so it's great. So check that out. We love Peter's so nice. We love Peter. So that's kind of great. And that's all your church announcements. You guys are like, where are we going to talk about the show? But I didn't get all that out because we have a lot of stuff going. We have more stuff going on too on JLG Media. Just stay tuned. Lots of stuff. Next Sunday. So our anniversary is actually in between this. Mm-hmm. It's between this week and it's between this Sunday and next Sunday. We start like the 25th or some shit like that, 27th. Back at AfterBuzz TV as GH Report. So next Sunday, we're going to celebrate more of our 9-year anniversary next Sunday, Frank.
Man, look at this. The time has flown by. It's going to be exciting.
And I got Frank a present that he's going to open on air live. He does not know what it is. But no, it's been funny. And shout out to Ladine Harvey and Lucretia Lyon and Carla Renata, who were a part of the show over the years. Shout out to AfterBuzz TV. They're still on hiatus. Summer hiatus from 2020. Shady Sunday. Shout out to them. Shout out to Roxy Stryer for letting me put a show together. So, but we'll go more into that next week and all that kind of stuff. We might have some surprises, Frank.
Ooh.
As we always, I always try to do. And next year will be 10 years. So we got to think if we're still together, we can see what we're gonna do there.
Maybe if.
He's like, Frank is my longest running successful male relationship. So there you go. Oh, yeah, so there you go. So we'll still be together. We'll still be together.
Take that, Flobo.
Yeah, so, I was talking to him a second ago. Yes. So we're gonna have a good time. So it's in between. Somebody's asking me, what is it? It's in between this week. So we're doing it. We're gonna just both days. We're gonna kind of celebrate it, so to speak. Okay. Let's get started to the show, and we'll get to this emails to another show, folks. We got that for you. Annie Goen, of course, says I'll be here for both of you. Both of you, of course, you're always here for
Oh,
us.
thank you, Andy.
She's long-term fan. Long-term. Some of you guys know long-term. Okay. Which is really kind of, I know we're gonna start with the show in a second ago, but it really is kind of funny. But when I started that show, I had no concept of how long it would go. Just never even thought. I don't think you did either, right? You never thought about it.
No. And I mean, and admittedly, when you looked at myself, Lady and Lucretia, you're like, he's not gonna last. He's soft. He won't make it a month.
No. But I was just really weird. I just never thought. I never even thought about it. I didn't
No,
that's
true.
Tony said the same thing. Tony said the same thing. He didn't. We didn't. We were just doing it, having some fun, and time really just flew. Really did.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about a show that can drive you crazy, but also make you enjoy it as well, but and with people that you enjoy talking about it with, and it goes by smooth.
Smooth as silk, something like that. Thank you, David, for your super chat of $20. We appreciate that. Super chats are welcome, and I'm going to put that in the chat if I can do that. It's just crazy. I didn't know anything I could create would last this long. So you never know. You never know. Okay, so this week, one of the things that we were saying, Frank, on our other show on Daytime Today, we all agreed we like that GH is moving. It's not, the pacing is totally changed, right? That's something that Frank and I have always talked about off and on the last 9 years is pacing. So if you don't like a certain storyline or something, no, they're moving it forward. They're like, there's no pussy flitting around. Do you agree with that?
I do, which is nice. So yes, like we talked about before, I am so much more forgiving on bad story beats if we're just moving because I know it won't be here for long.
Yeah, they're moving forward. I mean, like literally, Alexis is in Penfield now. I mean, that was just like, I mean, because in the old days it went for a long time, and we wouldn't see her for a while. Like they literally were like, boom, bam, boom, she's in a cell with Heather Rubber.
I did love the long walk down the the studios
hospital
corridor.
corridor. I mean, I thought of you because I was like, oh, he's gonna make shit. He's gonna talk shit about that. Yeah, it was like obviously it was a hallway. Hey, they're trying, Frank.
Sure, they're being artistic, making come up with some great
Trying.
stuff.
They're trying. So I laughed. I thought of you on that scene. I was like, okay, they really. I mean, they really are trying to utilize what they have around them. It's a long hallway. It looks a little too clean for a jail, but okay, that's fine.
Interesting that they really drew it out in terms of Alexis like taking off the clothes and getting pat down and all that stuff. Where it's like this is, as we've all known, this is not her first time in Pentonville. It's but you're kind of just the way they were treating it. It was like, man, this is crazy. Alexis is in Pentonville. Uh, but no.
I think they were trying. I think they were trying to be artistic. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we're gonna do this kind of. There's kind of this. Oh, there's like this talking overlay over it, and different things that are getting or doing the fingerprinting thing. And I was like, okay. I mean, I'll give it to them. That's that's fine. I mean, but putting it with Heather, I'm like, that's obviously too convenient. Obviously, but you know what? I'm here for it. I'm fine. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to get put in Pentonville, unless you're Brad, more often than not, you're going to be put with somebody that is already sort of on canvas. So Heather Weather makes that obvious choice.
Pretty fast as walking the Green Mile, right? Exactly. So, Frank, who do you think switched the tests?
Well,
I came out too.
it's got to be Portia.
That's what I said. Well, people in the chat said something different though. Who you guys were saying? Who you guys? The other day, you guys were saying somebody else. Who do you think it is? So you said somebody else. I said that'd be Portia. Was it?
Yeah, I mean they did such a big thing with her looking at the test results. But the only thing that I mean, I guess you could hesitate on is that Portia would be smart enough to know that the that blood work would be sent to multiple hospitals to have redundant testing.
Right.
So why would she tamper with something that she would know it would come back with different?
I know. I'm thinking Portia was she was dead. This bitch ain't getting out. Now that was basically her just so back to that mother bear thing. That Alexis did too, basically. I was trying to save Christina. They're making these choices. Maybe they're making these choices. It's kind of a weird message, though. They're making these choices that are not good choices to save their kids. And it's kind of weird. Um, yeah. Portia definitely tampered with the results. Yeah, I think it has to be Portia. I think it has to be, which will put her in some situation and she'll claim it because she didn't want her out. And and with Rick, the thing is, and I love having Rick back on the canvas. I do. Rick is a breath of fresh air. He's a breath of fresh air because he is who he is. Like it's like completely, and whoever he's with, he's good. And his scene with Heather was kind of cool. It's like he was really seeing that she really believes something is wrong with her, and that she really believes she really wants to change. And his face really did it conveyed that. It just kind of like he was like, like then that's what made him, go and look even deeper. Like something's going on.
Yeah, it was interesting just how he interacts with Ava, uh, uh, with Ava, with Nina, with Heather, with Elizabeth, and Sonny, of course, as always.
Yes,
But how he interacts with all of them, yeah, it's been great.
it's been wonderful. And Elizabeth, the chemistry's still there. I see it. I feel like it's still there. But she like, ain't nothing gonna happen here. You're like,
It makes sense, though, doesn't it? Though, I mean, at least I like that they're not writing her like, all right, you're
I love
moving
it. No, I love it.
back.
Yeah, I love it. No, she's smarter. No, she's way smarter. She's way smarter. And so David goes, remember Alexis asked Sonny to help Christina. Oh, maybe Sonny had somebody do it, they're saying. Even though Portia seems likely, but I'm going to wait it out. I forgot that actually Sonny could have done something.
Hmm. What? Yeah. If this is leading to how Brad gets back on staff.
Right, because Brad is not there. Joyce, he's not on yet. He didn't get a job yet, folks. Remember, he came
No.
in, so he's not there yet. So yeah, they could fire whoever was there, and then he gets a job. They have to hire him. So don't worry, he didn't. Brad was not working there yet. He just had the little pitch, and that's it. Terry,
We're firing somebody that we couldn't trust to do a test to bring back somebody that we had
exactly.
before that we couldn't trust to run
It's
the test.
it's uh it's General Hospital. Shit, I'll take it. Get it back in there. Get back in the hospital. Well, I feel like what they're trying to do, folks, is really focus on the hospital. General Hospital is a hospital. So I actually don't mind hospital center story and getting folks back in there. I have no problem with that. I like it. So bringing him into shit, okay. Because we saw the club for the first time in 6 months. And I was like, oh, they have the set still? I was like, wow. I mean, like, because literally, we don't, I mean, they've kind of moved away from all of that.
True. I mean, when you've got, Curtis saying like, "Oh, I know, I've just been so busy, ELQ and my fitness empire." Uh, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the Heather Weber story and all that, but if it's being used as a way to generate something for Portia, where if she's crossed the line and now she's got to suffer the consequences and how that affects the Ashford family, then good. Yeah, then I can see the worth of that story.
Yeah, we'll find out with that. Yeah, because she ain't doing much otherwise. I mean, just that's just she don't like her. She don't like Cyrus. That's about it. I mean, she don't really have much going on. Uh,
Oh,
but Cyrus and Jordan,
best best reaction from Jordan when she just gives him that look to get him to leave the hospital room.
and when he stops to look at her, and she gives him a,
Yeah.
I was like, "You trust to believe?" She was like, "Nope." Okay, so I'm glad we're going into this because it first of all, Jordan is thirsty. She is hungry. She is drooling. She is all about that man. I was
Oh,
like, Dick, you said something last week. Like, is it you? Like, she really like, why is she so? I'm like, I think Frank's right now. Like, why is she so invested in him? I mean, he's good looking. I mean, I get it. He's good looking with her. She's like fresh meat. But you said it, and I was kind of like, well, I don't know. Maybe she's just wants to help. I think she likes him.
yeah. I mean, look at her. It's been a long time. I mean, she had the hookup with Portia's brother a long
Right?
time ago, and that's been it. It's been a desert.
It's been dry season.
Yeah, she sees that oasis that is sitting in that hospital bed. She's like, I need a sip of that water.
She actually went to Bobby's get him some food.
Yeah.
Oh, you go, girl. But I have to say, but then here we go, Frank. We got two people we never see together, her and Joss, and they both are transplant recipients. They talked about it.
That was nice. That was a nice little thing. It's like, oh yeah, things that it's like, oh yeah, I knew it, but I never really tracked until we saw the two of them together.
Yep. Oh, that's kind of cool. I was saying they haven't really have anything against each other and or anything. They're just people. And I'm like, and it was a very nice exchange. And it's remind me of what you and I always say that sometimes we just would like have a scene that makes sense, that be that long,
Mhm.
and kind of just like moves it along. Like that scene made sense that she went to get a BLT or whatever she went to get them sandwich. Maybe I want a BLT right now. That's what I'm thinking about. She went to get him a sandwich, and her and Josh had a little piece of conversation, and it's kind of makes sense for the Lucky storyline. Makes sense, and then she goes back and walks in on Cyrus standing there. Woo! She gave him no rope range. She's like, "You go."
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. He's like, what? Huh? What? I'm like, I didn't know he to go. And he's like, okay. I would just and Jeff Korber is so good. I just because I wish they had a little more of him. But I love that he's reoccurring. I love the way they just kind of bring him in. He's an irritant. He
Yeah.
irritates everybody. He doesn't read the room. He doesn't give a fuck. He just irritates everybody. I love it because he does so much with those scenes. Like he's just like, oh my god, this guy is laying it on thick. He's like, yeah, Lulu's uncle, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God. It's like, okay, sure. But Jordan was like, nope, get out, bye. But when he walked to the door, she was standing there, and she was like, and then he walked out. I was like, oh my God, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Uh, uh, I even appreciated the scene with him and Lulu, where like Cyrus, he can only go so far. Where it's like he like, oh, like I know I'm partially responsible. But really, it's Julian.
Yeah,
I mean, he blew it.
yeah,
So
I know. I was laughing. I'm like, oh, you have no self awareness. It's like, because you're in there, and she's there kind of because of you. That's why you're in there. Cheese and crackers. I don't understand.
but
It just
Julian, how could Julian mess this up?
that's so him though. But yeah, I like that scene too, um, and then but also we got mentioned. Speaking of family, I had a private soap Zoom this week, and we had a great time. Thinking about you came, we had a great time. Um, the accents were talked about. I thought Tad Martin walked through the door when he was talking to Sonny because the accent is gone,
And we lost the facial hair. We
right?
can tighten up the do.
Yep.
I'm fine. Michael Unite is amazing. So just to have him back, I don't, he spent wherever he spent his time, he lost the accent for, he got acclimated. He's like, oh, my accent's gone now. This thing I've had all my life. Now it's gone.
Gone. That's gone. And Lois, her voice, they had a whole thing about that. So we got Wally Kurth, who's doing both shows right now. Obviously, Days in that one. We got actually a very interesting scene. It was really fun. It was really jarring at first because I think it was a Thursday episode or Wednesday where he's screaming at Michael. I was like, oh, they're fighting about something. And
Yeah,
then
that started off hot right up top. You're
yeah,
like,
right, Tom.
whoa.
I was like, oh, okay. And they're fighting, but also he goes off on Lois about her voice, and Geo tries to step in a little bit, like,
Yeah.
and well, it wasn't Wally, and then like, little kid, don't worry about you. I can, but she's like, but it was just really interesting, um, the whole voice thing and having Ned and Lois because he's known her for decades. It's kind of like this is her. It's funny that they're choosing to do this whole accent thing on the show. Like they're saying, okay, no more accents for anybody, just cut them out. I guess or something.
I mean, it feels, I mean, of all of them, it seems like it's the story need for why Lois is doing this. But I it doesn't help that the way that they're choosing to do this is such a stilted
Yeah.
way that she's speaking. If she was just with that no accent, but just speaking as a regular human being,
Yeah.
it would be better. But there's the choice of like being slow and
Yes.
proper. Like, oh, this is not helping.
It's not at all. Um, and right now I think because of the regime changes, Geo is just there at the moment. I don't know what they're going to do with him yet. I mean, there's that whole thing. It could be someone's kid that's on the canvas. That's always there. But I feel like they don't know what to do with him because he went to see Joss also. I forgot they had fought. I forgot that whole thing. I forgot all about that. Yeah, did you remember? I forgot. I'm like, oh, it's like Joss forgot too. She was like, oh, we're fine. But did he look at her kids at home? And Frank, did he look at her a little lovingly or something? Or was he just looking forlorn because he thought they were fighting?
I think it was more the fighting thing, but because I don't know, I still feel like he's there for Trina because I don't know. Otherwise, if he's not for Trina, then I really don't know what he's doing on the canvas.
Well, hello, Molly and Dex. They've been kept testing them. They've been doing some scenes with them.
Oh, well, yeah, it's just I mean, I have to call you. I shouldn't be doing this, but I just want to let you know.
See, they already had the encounter, which is her skimpy outfit. They already had that encounter. And now I called her. I'm like, I think they're chem testing them. So I don't know. So if Dex started looking at Molly, that's Molly, Josh, Dex. Then add Geo in there, and then maybe he does like. I don't know. I don't know what to do with them. I don't know. It's just kind of like I'm seeing different things happening. Where Geo just seems like he's just kind of there.
I have to say, I do miss the days of the soaps where uh it wasn't just a chem test. It was like a precursor to like, oh, hey, this is going to be happening. And you could just know that, they can take these two characters and they're going to put them together. Uh, this, I feel like GH does too many chem test teasings that
Yeah,
never go.
they do. Yeah, people agree. They think they're chem testing Molly and Dex. Many feel it's that Geo's too mature for Geo. That Geo's a victim of poor writing transition. I think so too a little bit. I think there's something going on there. Maybe they'll find their footing. They need younger people on the canvas, so hopefully they'll find the footing with him. But him just my first punk show with you, and I just
Yeah. And to go back to Molly, I mean, she's in a domestic partnership with TJ. I mean,
yes.
they have a mug commemorating, 5 months of their domestic partnership.
Oh my
You
god!
don't throw away something as special as that
Yes,
for Dex.
take that mug and throw it across the room. I got there. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Um, so well, that the big main story is Alexis going to prison for now until she actually has a trial. But all that leading to that, to all the Davis girls, everybody's on different sides. Molly going to Sonny saying, "Don't you go to that courtroom."
Amazing. For a bit there, there seemed to be just lawyers falling around everywhere. But when you really need one, you can't find one.
Nope.
There's just nobody there.
Nobody there for her. Like nobody for her. Like just nobody. I mean, like not even Martin. Like why do you bring it back? Why do you bring it back for her?
Uh, yeah, I mean, for wherever Martin was hanging out, I mean, it's
Yeah,
great. There was a reason to get him back on
yeah,
campus.
yeah. So I'm
Uh,
like, good. Okay, so maybe he'll do something. But I'm like, it was kind of weird. It's like, yeah, we have several lawyers running around there. So I don't know, just kind of weird. That whole thing was fast. It was quick, fast, and hurry. It was literally was like, okay, here we are. One day, they all show up. Lindsay Hartley as Sam was there. Um, she's gonna be there for until the trial. You can't have bail. And I think there's no other show today, Sherry. I think they're setting up Sam's death.
with her doing the I have to do this dangerous dive to find this gun, which I mean, if anything, at least like, you know, it's a it's not a permanent death. It is like, oh, we can't find her body. She could show up.
True.
You know,
Unless
you
unless they do give a permanent death so they can use her organ to help Lulu.
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 Listen, my love is my other love. Oh my
I know Dante's having a moment. He had a moment with I almost said Josh. That's Josh Kelly. He had a moment with home. Well, we'll get to that second. That's the whole thing too with Tracy and Sasha. And that we get to that in a second. But no, it's funny because yeah, I'm like, okay, so Sam goes for the gun. So does she find it and then she dies while finding it? So then Alexis is vindicated somehow. Sonny is kind of vindicated too because Jason melted that gun, the gun. So that's we know the gun. And Sam's gone, so now she gets to go into Lulu. I think.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, like with Sam, is that a character that you want to treat as a permanent death, or do you want to just give yourself the out that you could bring that character back in at some point in the future?
I know. I don't want him to kill her, so I don't want them to kill her. So that to me is just that's a whole other story. I'm like, it's like too much of a character who's tied to too many people to have her dead. I think it's just dumb. So I would take anything if there's a possibility she could be out there somewhere.
I
I know they're trying unless they're going to kill her that way, which frees up Dante. They find Lucky, bring him home, and he saves his sister. Unless they're going to do that,
I surprisingly, as everybody knows, I'm not a huge fan of the Sam character. So,
right?
but I had no reason for me to see her killed
Yeah.
permanently. So I am down for, some kind of death that there's easy to write the way out of, and bring her back in a couple years when they've got like a better perspective on what they could do with that character to really, do something well with her on the show.
Well, the thing is, they're also going back in time, folks. If you remember how she entered the show 21 years ago, she was a diver. She was a con woman diver. That's how she met Jax. So it's almost like they're taking her out the way she came in. There is that.
Mm.
So I can see them, so I can go that direction. Because in a weird way, if she saves Lulu, there's a reason to bring Lucky back then.
Yeah.
And I really. So I guess maybe some of you guys out there are right. She's gonna go, maybe her body will be gone, so we won't see her. Freeze up Dante. Lulu comes out of the coma, and then they start over.
There you go. And then you know what? It'd be great because then she could come back in a couple years and then, she can't sit there and be all judgy on Jason. Like, he's always putting himself in dangerous situations and then he's gone. What about his children?
You know, she can't say anything. And
Yeah.
Dante said, I can't talk you out of it. So he's like, you didn't even try, you didn't even try. Because she shouldn't do it. It's if Sam dies on a dive, mine needs to be like she's seen his neck the rest of her life. I mean, here's the thing. I know I can't be up. I'm um, defending this person, but I actually am liking Homegirl's work as Christina and Homegirl's work as Molly. But actually, I like that Molly is not letting up on her sister. That's how she's like. She really. I mean, she's like, no, I'm not letting up on her. And Christina is selfish and self-centered, but I think she also thinks she is just trying to help her family. But she really believes. And it's so funny. She really, really. But so they had to have. She had to have a talk with Alexis. She had to have a talk with Sam. She had to talk with Sonny, and they all kind of agreed. She's like, "Wow, you and Sam." Her saying, "You and Sam agreed." And like, she's when she's right. She's right. The thing is, Christina really wants to help everybody, and she said, "I went there to kill Kate's." That was interesting.
Yeah.
Alexis was like, "What?" Like I was there to kill him. By Saturday, I couldn't do it.
Which makes sense. I mean, at least even if we didn't see it and they said it after the fact, it does give motivation for why she grabbed that gun.
Yeah, yes,
You know? Because I mean, at least honestly, when she did first grab it, I thought like, oh, we're setting this up as like who killed Jagger.
that's what I thought so too.
Um,
Yeah, sure.
but at least it's like we're getting a who done it, even though we know who did it,
Right.
and it's just
Like I
well,
said, it's weird, Frank, because I thought this. Thank you for thinking. It was gonna be a straight line of everyone trying to pin it on Sunny, like everybody going that direction. And we already had the Ava Christina stuff going on. So this whole complication with Alexis is very interesting because that just came out of nowhere, kind of. We're all everybody's like Alexis, like and she has killed before. She has other things. I mean, it's like she has other things. She just came back as a lawyer. Like there's a lot going on there too. So it's kind of weird that's in there now. So that's I don't know. I didn't expect that part of it. I thought we were going this direction. That kind of popped up.
one scene that I did enjoy this week, though, with because Christina's been driving me crazy about this, especially with, uh, you know, understandably, being an impulsive choice that she didn't fully comprehend when she agreed to be a surrogate and becoming attached to the baby. Completely understand that, but that she's hanging her hat on the excuse like, I didn't know about you and TJ. If you guys were gonna make it, that's the whole reason I did this. That's a tough one to buy, but. I did enjoy the scenes with her and Felicia, where
Yes.
he was kind
Oh,
of opening up to that. I thought, like, all right, that was a pairing that I was not expecting, but I enjoyed tremendously.
exactly. I roll my eyes at the patient advocate thing all the time. But in this case, I think also people knew, a lot of people said this online, knowing that Christina Wagner lost a son in real life, her and Jack Wagner lost a son in real life. I was kind of watching to see, I mean, just she's a good actress, but I was really watching Christina Wagner going, okay, how's she doing the scene? I'm sure care was taken, I'm sure. But that dialogue, I mean, it was kind of heartbreaking hearing Christina talk. Kate Manning's character, Christina talk. And I was like, wow, I mean, as an actor, you're back on set. And she mentions losing a child, meaning Maxie. Georgie, sorry, meaning Georgie. So her character has lost a child. Um, there are very tender scenes. And there were no histrionics, and it was just talking. And I thought, see, that's mix that in with the over the top stuff. I'm fine. I'm good. I mean, like, just mix that in. We always say that too. Just like give us a scene of something that gives us some humanity, explains the characters one way. I think Christina really believes, and they've shown this week. She really believes that she's going to try. She was going to try to help change Ava's mind. She really did not think, and I don't blame her. She had a reason to think she'd be in harm's way. I think she really just thought. We're all laughing, like Ava's going to change her mind. But I think she believed she was going to change her mind. She went over there to change her mind and make things better.
Yeah, I agree with that because nobody goes into a situation like that thinking they're gonna fall out a window.
Yeah, at a hotel that we
Yeah,
started.
nobody ever thinks about that. I'm going to a hotel. Oh wait, I shouldn't because I'll
Right,
fall out the window. Uh, I would say like the only thing that I would hesitate, like Christina on is like, she killed Connie, as you well know, because you like to throw it in her face.
right.
Ava is, she can be violent if pushed. So, why go into an emotional situation like that? But I agree. I mean, she thought her fiery Corinthos personality could talk Ava off that track of,
Yeah, I feel like this week really solidified. That's what she really thinks. And she's like, I was trying to protect my family. She says to Molly, and Molly's like, you couldn't wait like another couple of weeks. Like you had to protect your father. That's what it was, and that is what it was. I mean, that's what it was. And it was about Christina not wanting to testify against her father.
yeah, and like I think with everything, it's like you may not agree with the choice, but at least you can understand.
Yeah,
And so that's all you can do. I mean, for great soaps, I mean, you present that character's point of view, hopefully in a way that the audience can buy it. That doesn't mean that they agree with it,
right.
but at least they understand where she's coming from.
Yes, and Rick was messy. You write in the chat, Rick was messy, and turning Alexis in, so to speak, and so was Molly. When Christina confronted Molly, said, "Wait a minute, was it you?" She's like, "Yeah, it was me." Molly is not let up. She's like, "Yeah, it's my duty. Part of my duty as DA." She's like, "Oh, okay, 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 uh huh." And she has no shame about it. She right now is so overcome with grief and hates her sister right now and blames her for everything. She didn't care. She did not care. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm like, that's I love it. She didn't care. Like, just like, you really like, but they're showing Molly having some remorse because she was blaming her mother. That's that. I mean, she may be mad at her mother. We saw it changed when Matt came to arrest her. Molly's everything changed. Everybody was like, "Wait a minute, we're all fighting this, but wait a minute." And having Mac do was very interesting because they used to be friends or whatever back in the day or whatever. And we had Detective Bennett came back. Where
Oh,
did we hide him? With
yeah,
glasses on, everything. Where did we hide him, Frank?
yeah, and I feel like we trim the beard,
Yeah,
Look
I
at him.
was like, well, like where did he come from? They pulled him out because obviously Matt couldn't do the interview. But I love that exchange,
Yeah.
and it shows. I mean, Nancy Gron can act. We know that, so it just shows that she can act. He was acting his ass off too. It was like both. It was very. There's a lot of we've noticed longer scenes. The Christina Fleischer scene was a nice long scene where they're just talking about losing children and how she feels. And Felicia showed no judgment, just like, okay, just here we go. And the scenes are a little longer. I like that. They're like we'll get to the Jason Anna stuff. Same thing. They're a little longer. I kind of like the length of some of these scenes.
Yeah, and to go back to Detective Bennett, I enjoy that type of character on the show, and I enjoy him just because it's nice to have a character that's solid, that's not a a
Yes.
fool and is competent at his job, and it kind of helps make it seem like the PCPD is a little bit bigger than it really is,
Right.
where it's not just Dante solving all the crimes. We got Chase occasionally doing something.
Yes.
Nope, there's other detectives that can seem like they can do competent work.
But what's great about that is he had a little sense of humor a couple of times when he was talking to her, and so did she. It's like, okay, it's kind of okay. We saw some of his personality in there. I liked it. I just thought it was, but it was a nice. That was a nice long scene too, where he's questioning her, and she's like, blah blah blah. And she's like, he goes, well, I guess you really are good. You're a good lawyer, or whatever. It's like she's like, I know I am. It's kind of like she's being her own counsel. It's always tricky, but she knows how to answer. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like, you. And he was like playing that dance with her. He's like, there's a dance going on here, and he was playing it.
And that's in between Alexis and Christina, where it's like now Alexis has said what the story is, and so now Christina, you can't say anything
Nope.
because that's going to make it even worse if you contradict the stuff I've already told the police.
So Detective Bennett versus Dr. Gannon for Jordan. There you go, kids. I'm
Yeah,
in.
yeah, and I mean, we haven't seen. Yeah, give us some Bennett. Uh,
We haven't seen him in a while, so it's kind of. So I mean, but it's kind of cool though because there's that one scene. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday too, where halfway through the episode, all of a sudden Dante shows up. He hugs Sam. Before he comes on hugging Sam, I'm like, who that? I was really thinking, I'm like, oh, it's Dante. I'm liking that sometimes there's no big fanfare. They're just all of a sudden halfway through the show, someone comes in for a scene. You're like, that's realistic on some level. Like you just see this company, there's a big announcement. It's not about them today, but they come on.
No, that is nice because usually you think like if in the first like three scenes of an episode, you get the sense of like these are our three storylines for the day. These are who we're going to see today. And it is nice when you can get midway through an episode and all of a sudden like, oh, all right, we're going to get somebody else we weren't expecting.
Oh, that's what you were today. Okay, yes. They did that a couple of times recently. Jordan is kicking ass, taking names. Yeah, I know. We talked about it last week when she was in them little kitten pumps, chasing after homeboy. She saved the day. He tried to get her, but she got him.
Oh, Elizabeth called security.
Love it. I love
I'm
it.
gonna chase him right into the stairwell.
Sure did, and she got him. I love it. Also, we had at the hospital, we had both Danny and Rocco show up, and Danny was the one to tell people that his daddy left, and Sam was not. And Sam had a really interesting exchange, right? It was that whole thing of like, well, what are you doing when Lucky comes back? And Aiden. And I was like, I didn't thought that part myself either until she said that. I was like, oh, it's kind of, and it was like they talk on the phone occasionally, blah blah. But he's like, he isn't around for 20 years. He didn't raise him.
Yeah.
When he comes back, are you good? She's almost like saying, I'm going to tell you so in a second because you're going to come back. And this was kind of like, no, things are different. But Elizabeth's thinking about it. If Lucky comes, because now Lucky's hallucinating her, of course, and all this stuff. But it was like, I forgot about the Aiden thing because I forgot Jake is in Spain, right, doing our thing. Cameron's in college, so she has Aiden left. So do they rebuild their family? Does that something that happens, or is now Lucky Luke basically?
Yeah. I mean, that Lucky does not want to become Luke, given all the
No,
history and the baggage for that.
doesn't.
But just because you don't want to be somebody and you fought so hard to not be somebody doesn't mean that you don't make choices that kind of still are kind of choices that your father, but you can't help it. You just kind of it may be different choices, but they kind of end up with the same thing where you're kind of you self-isolate, you kind of call your own shots, you're working the angles. Even though you're purporting to like I would never do these things, like my father did. You
Yeah, right.
still can't help it.
I always felt that Lulu was more like her father than Lucky was. That he had a lot more things in common. And of course, he was cowboy. I forgot her nickname. What was the name? Cupcake or
Uh
I forgot it. Folks in chat, tell me what Luke's nickname was for Leslie Lou for Lulu. I forgot what it was. It was something she always called. He always called her that. But I know Cowboy was him. Dodge was Ethan. Cowboy was him. English was when they said English. I'm like, come on, folks, that's Holly. Called her English. Always. Spanky was Tracy. We always called her Spanky. Like Spanky. Oh my god. I miss Luke. I like Tony Gary. I liked his character. He shook things up. He was, he made any storyline to elevate it. I know he's happy retirement in Amsterdam, and I wish he was. Well,
no, characters like him, like Adam Chandler, just like they can drive story, but they can also elevate another story. They can just come in for a couple scenes and just make it great. Like, oh, just uh, always great. I still remember always the scene where it's Brooke is in the hospital and all my children, and Adam comes in, and he's like, "Just tell me what you want, and I will make it happen." And in the way that David Canary delivers that line, it's just, oh,
we can't do it because I have all my children after show. I can't talk about it here because it'll get me started. I did a whole show on David Canary, and I'm just telling you, my favorite daytime actors of all time. Not everybody chats about how great he was. David Canary, I believed he was those two separate characters. That's what's so crazy.
yeah,
They play scenes together opposite each other. They split screens and doubles. When he was Stewart, he was Stewart. When he was Adam, he was Adam. And Adam was that character you wanted to punch him in the face sometimes, but also you want to give him a hug.
Yeah.
And Adam would drive, and everybody's like, I'm sorry, kids, for saying this guy just got to get Frank started. He's getting out real second. But I just think he's just, to me, he's one of the best actors we ever had. I think he was just so good. And he could drive story. Every leading lady he was with, it worked. Every guy he fought, it worked. I mean, like, don't get me started. Don't get started, Frank. Sorry.
But I also thought like just briefly as we're wrapping this up, like with Adam and Stuart, is like at first Stuart was just kind of like kind of a thing, but a testament to David Canary, he made them so distinct that I mean, I felt like because of that, they felt like Stuart was a character that they could invest in.
Yes, they did.
Which was great. And you saw how much that character grew because of that.
Yes, he was Steve Frame in Another World. Yes. Also, Dave Canary was on Bonanza. So, I mean, Dave Canary was around for a long time. And he was like Leslie Nielsen, always had white hair.
Oh, Silver Fox, man.
Silver Fox. Yeah, he's a legend. Oh, yeah, he was, and may he rest in peace. He was, he just, they give him storylines that were dumb, ones that were smart. He elevated it every single time. And same thing, and Anthony Geary, say what you want. There are scenes that I heard there's colleges that actually use some of his techniques. They have certain scenes they use of Tony Geary that are just like, watch this scene and you'll get it. I'll tell you this just really quick. One of the scenes that they use is when Jonathan Jackson, when he realizes he hit Jake, and they're on the Honda Star, and there's this thing that Tony Geary does when he starts drinking to say, I see, I'm okay, I can drink a lot. And I'm also like this whole thing. And it's like pound for pound, these two actors are just acting their asses off. And only Tony Geary could get away with some of the things that he was saying and what he was doing. And I think he won an Emmy that year for it. One of his 7 or 8 Emmys he won. But I was like, there's just certain scenes where you just go, wow, how do you do that? I mean, acting is a talent, and anybody can go up there and say some lines, but there are just scenes just like that's just it's we don't get that very much anymore, Frank. I mean, who do you think? I mean, like on the show, as we're still on the show, but like on today's show, I would say Jane Elliott is probably one.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, she had that scene with Sasha where she's being a bitch, just being a bitch. But then somehow in there, Frank turns it a bit as empowering to Sasha. I mean, like, it's so weird. Like, it was so weird. It's like I'm watching this scene and like that's classic Tracy. Well, she's probably jealous of her and Cody or thing. But no, she's actually admires her and wants her to think about doing something better than just being here. And it took Sasha by surprise, but it took me surprise. I was like, but that's Jane Elliott, isn't it? That's Jane Elliott.
You gotta take it seriously, Sasha. You gotta take it seriously.
I mean, it's just even when Jane Elliott is talking to you about what you call it, having kids, and like don't have them yet. You're okay. But it's like, but she does, and her and Lois had that nice little scene together 2 weeks ago. Like you're just going, how does Jane Elliott do it? I'm like, she seems so natural. Like she's like 1 minute you want to just bite her head off, and next minute you're like you have tears in your eyes. You're going, okay, got it.
She navigates those turns of the character so well. She just makes it just a full, complete person, and it's always a joy to watch.
I think I agree with you, Nathan. I want Jane to do a little more too, but they've kind of given ALQ to the boys, and she's with Deception, kind of. It seems like they've done that. Be curious to see what they do going forward. But I'm just saying, in terms of just her acting abilities, even those little scenes we had this week had me in shock. Like, oh, she's going off on Sasha, going off on Sasha. And Sophia Matson, we love her. She's a great actress. Also, she's proven that already. But just having those scenes, just like, wow, it's just like that your thing is the best thing I ever had. Like she just told the writings and totally just like, what? She's actually praising her now. And Sasha was like, what? And got her thinking. And got Sasha, I mean, like, also the audience too, like, she can't just be doing this for the rest of her life. Like, it just makes no sense. So I think it's setting us up for that too. With Nina coming to her catering and like, so I think it's going to lead to something bigger. I think hopefully a bigger and better story. People will chat say Mara West. Yes, another one who could take. I would say Mara West, and I'm going to say also James Patrick Stewart.
Yes.
He made us love Valentine. That character was not likable when he first came on. And I remember Frank saying, we're back at AfterBuzz TV. He was like, he's too cartoonish. He killed Nicholas. And he's too cartoonish. But over the years, I just, how can you not like him? He
Yeah.
totally, right, Frank?
No, and it was just a bummer that well, certainly he's got other stuff outside the show that
Right.
he's focused on, which is great for him. But as somebody who loves to see him perform within the confines of the show, it's like you know, but he is a character and a presence on the show that is missed when he's not more actively involved.
Yeah, I agree. Vincent Irizarry, yes, my buddy, I will agree. David Hayward was the mom. David Hayward was such a great character. Again, we're talking about, I know we're talking about our children. But it just was such, he was a master in that too. Just say yeah, he was a great character out there too. Another guy who takes stuff. I agree with you. Emma Sam said in an interview that working out with Jonathan Jackson was great because they both learned so much from Tony Geary.
I mean, that was the nice thing about seeing that duo is, and seeing Lucky get older and then now being in a situation where you can interact with some more of these legends that
Yes.
which is cool.
Which I want to lead into now because I actually kind of like the story a little bit. It's Jason and Anna. I kind of like it. They're in Africa. There's no, again, pacing was great. We didn't see them land. We didn't need to see them on the plane talking. Like old regimes, we've been on. It took like 5 years to get there. They got there and they're already in. They're already starting the thing. I was like, yes, that's some things we don't need the minutia. Some things we do need explanation, and some we don't. Right, Frank? It's like just like they're in. They see Holly right away. There's already a whole thing about that. I love Holly and Anna going back and forth because they are frenemies of sorts. Jason doesn't really know Holly that well, so he doesn't really know anything. So it's kind of like if you're new to the show, you're learning about Holly and the Anna dynamic. We're talking decades, folks, of just back and forth, just decades. Then Holly
Because
actually, go ahead, please, please.
because that's the nice thing is like stuff that as longtime viewers are aware of, but it's like Jason Morgan would not have all that knowledge, so he's like
Nope.
he would just have the surface level of what everybody else would think of. Like, don't you guys know each other? Aren't you guys friends? No, it's like, no, no, Jason, it's not exactly like that.
I like that, but it's she has her own self interest, and actually Holly is playing right in. I love their banter. I love the whole thing, but she does choose to help them.
Uh,
So it's kind of crazy.
yes, once she understands the stakes. Lucky
Well,
being caught enough wasn't enough for her to do anything.
no.
But now that Lou's life is on the line
But
as
that's
well.
her, right? That's her. I mean, Holly, Anna said that. She's self-serving. I think Anna said it. Remember, Anna, when she met up with Lucky, she was like, we didn't do anything. I mean, when Holly, she wasn't getting him out there right away. She's like, I got a con going. And her first thing is, I'll share the money.
Yeah.
Like, Anna's like, it's not the money. Come on, bitch. The money. And I go, where on earth is Kevin and Laura? I know. Well, Laura's on vacation. I'm sorry. I mean, Jean France probably on vacation. So yeah, no, that's kind of funny. They didn't even show them land there. Because Anna and Jason. See, I think Laura and Kevin. See, somebody else was going too, right? I think somebody else is going to be heading that direction too. This last week they said something about going to Africa also. Shit, that's who it was. I think a whole bunch of folks are going to Africa. That's going to be the big thing.
Yeah. And I'm enjoying Sitwell, you know.
Me too. Me too.
I
Uh-oh.
mean, I do like that they keep playing up that he's just a terrible poker player.
Yes, he is. He's horrible. He's horrible.
But I enjoyed him when he was like on 24, that actor. So,
Yes,
uh,
me too.
yeah. So I'm down to see him be around for a little bit. It's always good to have some big, nice international bad guy, antagonist. So, yeah, let's see him. I'm hoping that he sticks around, even if he's kind of like defeated in this caper, that he can still be a presence going forward. to kind of go back to Port Charles and start messing with people.
Yeah, no, he's good. And but I mean, Holly, I mean, she's doing her thing. I love it. I mean, it's just like it's all it's all these pieces to it, and so it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, because to me, this story has gone kind of slow. This is a little slower story. I wish it'd pick up. So maybe now I'll pick up. Maybe it will. I think you guys in the chat to agree. It's like this is kind of come on, folks. Let's pick up the pace on this one. But all the other stories going so fast. This one was like, how many people does it take to rescue like a million? I seriously, someone said they were going to go. I think I'm glad so killing me who said it. So they're all going to go over there, and we'll see what happens. We'll do an adventure in Africa, I guess. I mean, that's what I think they're going to do. I don't really need an adventure in Africa, but I am enjoying Anna and Jason because people online are losing their shit. They're losing their shit. Don't put them together. No, I said, no, actually, I don't mind if they get together or not. I like them. I think there's some chemistry there. I think it's just friendship chemistry, I think, more than anything else. But if they did a little extra, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like Robin and him were so long ago, like a gazillion years ago. She ain't come back on. So don't worry about her. So I'm like, why not? I'm like they understand each other, right? They both were double sides of things, and she really wants him to leave Sonny in that world, and he didn't want to end. Remember, he didn't want to end their friendship. He wants their friendship to continue. That's how
Yeah.
he's playing
Like when he went and followed her, ran into her at the hospital, it's like, I'd like to continue our conversation. I mean,
it.
yeah, and how he just expressed that he thought it was like, I'm your friend, and she's like, oh, you used to be.
I know.
I don't know. I mean, I did not think when they first started kind of doing scenes together that it would be kind of that it could possibly be a romantic
Right.
thing.
I agree. Right.
But hey, I'm down for it. Why not?
I see why not. And so I says, here's the deal. Seaburn's my age, so we're talking mid-50s, and Homegirl maybe late 50s, or whatever I count. Somebody can look online how old she is. They're not that far off in age. First, I want to say she's too old, but she's not too old. They're not far off in age. Um, and I'm just saying, I'm not asking for Jason and Anna to be together. I'm just saying, if it's a story that takes them another direction, I'm all for that. I'm all for that. I don't want Jason back in the mob either. I just think it's been done already.
Yeah.
Him and Sonny still be friends, still coffee and porters together. But I want to see Jason try a new life after all these years. So that's just I'm for that. I'm for anything that leads that direction. So that's kind of it. How will Carly react to Jason and Anna? Well, Carly isn't like anything that anybody that Jason sleeps with. We know that. Her and Anna are okay normally. So I don't know. It'll be really interesting. No, he's a 64. See, not that bad. That's like 8 year, 9 year difference.
No, well, yeah, and Anna is not somebody that Carly could push around.
Not at all.
No. So,
Not at all. But I like the partnership. I mean, the partnership, first of all, is cool. I was saying that people are freaking out if they get together. I'm like, well, on soaps, usually that's what happens. A lot of times they go on these adventures, they get closer. Many times they get together. So that's just kind of a soapy thing to do. So yeah, the 10 years difference, no big deal. I think it's no big deal. And from that age group, no big deal. She's hot. He's hot. Why not? She's a spy, ex-spy. I mean, why not? Oh, these sleep together one time. I don't have a problem with that or whatever. If it solidifies him going another direction. Yeah, Fanola looks amazing. She looks amazing. I mean, so does Holly. Emma Sam's is great. That long COVID did her some justice. She looked good. I was like,
yeah.
Emma Sam's looks amazing.
And we've already established that, I mean, Anna's track record with the kind of,
Yes.
I don't want to say bad boys, but men of questionable stuff, more morally gray, you know,
Yes.
whether it be Duke, whether it be Valentine, Jason. I mean, I certainly probably think of all of them. Probably Jason is probably the closest to being, more of a good guy than a bad guy, sort of.
Remember, wasn't she with David Hayward on All White
Oh yeah,
Snowfall?
yeah.
Did they lose a child together?
So I mean, Anna has got that. She's got that type. You
Yes.
know,
I know her and Luke didn't do anything, but they were friends. They were friends. That's why she's
that
coming.
felt like a time that they were kind of teasing
Yeah,
that,
they
and
were teasing that.
never did.
But they never did. But they're friends. they're friends, and that's why she wants to help out also because Luke and they got along great. They got along great. They got along great. I forgot they called her not skinny. He called her. He had a name for her too. I forgot the name we had for her. But they all this whole thing. They all. That's why I think I like Isaiah said. Everyone seems to love this Lulu. Like love this like so this family. And when Anna said the Spencers have done a lot over the years for the WSB, they have. That's the thing. Everybody has had so many. This family is connected to everybody on the canvas. I mean, Luke Spencer was connected to everybody on the canvas, just about. So I mean, there's something to be said about that. Even though he's not on the show, the kids get that residual effect because Luke, they're doing it for Luke. You
Uh,
know,
yeah, here we go. He
oh,
called Tracy Spanky or Spanky Buns,
thank you,
Dot
bud.
Cupcake for Lulu or Princess.
That's what it was. Okay, yes.
Anna was Slim, Lucky Cowboy, Stefan was Vlad,
Oh yeah, Vlad. I remember that. Oh my god.
and then Sky was Red, and Holly English.
And he also called Tony ex Doc Rowan-Law or whatever.
I
I was
did.
like, yeah,
Oh, that after they got divorced was still great. That it was
yeah,
always.
so good. I forget Slim was her name. I knew it was, I said skinny. I knew it was something like that was like he called her Slim. You know, he called Caroline, County Caroline, and Alexis Natasha. He always called them both there by their real names.
Oh yes,
That
never
was
let you forget where you came from.
okay, sweet Caroline. I used to love it. I was like, oh my god, I love it. And Connie could never say anything, but when he's like Natasha, I just love that he used to call her all the time, Natasha. I love it. I mean, he could get away with it. But Vlad, that's why it was Vlad. That was so funny. You have a cowboy, I guess. Where yeah, Lexa and Mac were they were dating for a minute. So, but they weren't like boyfriend and girlfriend. But they dated for a little bit when she was single. He was single before
Oh,
she came back. So that was it was brief. Yeah, Fanola and Emma look great. They're saying that Emma Sam's 64, Fanola's 64, and Steve's 54. Yeah. So about the ages I said they were. Yeah, they're about the ages. Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad at all. I'm 55. I'm trying to hold down a little bit.
yeah, I'm down. Give me more. I am just happy that at least the show seems to be interested in moving Jason into a different space and not just having him fall back. Yeah, which is great. Just as his viewers want to just see something a little different as well too.
I agree. I totally agree with that. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. I'm here for the journey at least because it seems like it is going fast. Like it's going fast.
Yeah,
Uh,
I would think the only thing that was getting a little repetitive was the constant poker scenes between Sitwell and Lucky. Like, okay, we get it. You're playing for your life. Uh, but I will be curious what happens when Lucky does get back to Port Charles. Are they setting up a Rick, Liz, and Lucky triangle?
that's looking at
Uh,
that. That's I'm looking at. I'm like, I mean, I don't know how long he's here longer than I thought he was going to be. So I have no idea what Rick Hurst is, how long he's going to be here, but he's still here. And I'm like, I'm liking it, so maybe he can stay a little longer. I'm like, why not? Joy and everybody in the chat's kind of talking about when Sam dies. So we know they're already setting up Drew, Scout, and Nina, right? That's what they're setting up. She'll die. Scout will come to Drew, live with the Quartermaines, and Nina and they'll be together. We'll talk about that in a second. Meanwhile, Danny is single. So I said Danny will be alone. I said one of two things may happen. Because Jason is very much like, maybe you should stay with Dante. And then you already created a family there, but we'll become father. We'll get to know each other, but you stay with him. Or he'll take him on himself. I'm not sure yet. And move to the Quartermaines or wherever. I just don't know. I don't know. You're saying Jason will be a single dad, so we do something different. I don't know what they're going to do with Danny because Danny's almost grown. He's not grown, but he's almost grown. He's not a little kid. So I don't know what they're going to do with that.
I think it'd be a hard sell to tell Danny, especially if Sam's on the picture, to be like, "You just stay with Dante." I think the way that how Danny feels about Jason, if Jason wasn't all about like, well, if your mom's not here, then of course you stay with me. I feel it'd be weird to. I feel like I think Danny would be hurt if Jason's first instinct was, "Oh, you should stay with Dante because you guys already have something." I don't know. I think if the way that Danny feels about Jason and how much he puts him on a pedestal, I think he'd be hurt if Jason's first instinct was not to be like, no, 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 we're gonna find something and we're gonna make it work.
But Jason has not raised a child since Michael's a baby. He left Jake with his mom. He left Jake with Lucky to raise him. I mean, there was a whole thing there, remember? So I'm just
Which
curious. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I do like putting Jason in that position where, maybe it makes him question some things that he's doing. I don't know. I mean, it's easier to if you're not there day to day with somebody, uh, to make the kind of choices Jason does. Does he start thinking differently about some choices that he's been making if he now knows that day to day he's got his child there counting on him?
But I want to say something. I want to, not to you, but in the chat.
Say
Some
it to
people
me.
are like, I mean, I'm talking to you at the same time. Not to you. Hold on for a second. No, the chat. Because here's the deal, kids. And everybody's like, I want Jason to step it up and fight you. But here's the deal. Just because you're not biologically related to somebody doesn't mean that you should have any rights to something. Because I think Dante has been around Danny way longer than Jason has. Sam has been the one, and remember, Sam was jailed too for a minute. So the Quartermaines were there with Danny too, but everybody's been with them longer than his actual parents. It seems like. I think it's okay. My whole thing was like, if Dante and Jason came to understand and say, okay, my life's just too dangerous, right? Or I just have stuff going on right now. You guys, he loves Rocco. He said, Danny said he loves Rocco and Scott. That's his family. You guys stay together. I'm just saying that I don't think it's not about like snatching him from Jason or anything like that. But the whole point, I'm just saying that sometimes people create families, and I would never negate the bonus dad or the bonus mom, or so I just think I think people do that a lot of times. I go, that's not, it doesn't matter. It's like who's best for the child. So they're mentioning Alexis too because she's a grandmother. Doesn't necessarily go to. I'm a grandparent. Doesn't necessarily go to the grandparents. Same with aunts and uncles. Like there's just it's usually next to kin is a spouse usually or the biological parent. It's always go to them either. So I'm just saying it's just like it's. I was just mentioning that because I'm saying that's a possibility just because they have created a little family. And he's like what 16, only has a couple of years left. It could be that, but he wants to honor Sam's wish because Sam would not want him to go with Jason. She wouldn't. And her dad, she wouldn't. She's already made that very clear. And so I don't want to see a fight. I don't want to see a custody fight. He's too old for all that. I don't want to see it either.
I don't think Jason would do that.
No.
No, no, no. I mean, I think he
I'm
would
mentioning in the
respect
chat, like,
Sam.
I'm like, wait, no. He wouldn't
No,
fuck.
he would respect Sam's wishes, and if Sam wanted them to stay with Dante, he would be like, "All right, well, this is what your mother wanted."
Yes. I just think that people, so they've said it. Dante has been there for Danny. So he literally has been there for him. So I just think that it's so my thing is, yes, we'd love to see Danny and Jason get to know each other. And that could be an interesting storyline too. I'm saying that's one, but I'm saying there's also other choices. There's other choices because Jason's always about protecting his kids. That's always been his thing. I mean, like I said he allowed Jake to stay with Lucky and Liz this whole time. Now Lucky left, of course, because he wanted to make sure Jake was safe.
I just want to see scenes of Jason and Danny, both living together in that one room at Kelly's.
Like, oh my god, like yeah, here's your side of the room, here's my side of the room. I mean, let's get bunk beds. As I say, that's kind of funny. Yeah. But anyway, so I don't. I'm just saying that there's. I don't want to negate anybody. We have step families, and I know people who their stepdad is their dad in real life. They don't call them stepdad. They're like that. This guy raised me from this time to this time. They see him as just as viable as a biological relative. So I never want to negate that. So
Yeah, I mean, you look at like Maxie and Mac.
right, right. That's a perfect example. Perfect. Frisco has been a deadbeat dad. I mean, deadbeat dad. But if he comes back to town, so you just drop Mac all of a sudden because here's my real biological father. No, Mac is your father. That is right. Same with Robin. Robin always played the whole thing. Yes, even though Robert and Anna are my parents, Uncle Mac was also her parent too. Robin always played that. Always played that. Because he raised all the girls. Their parents were gone. All their parents were gone. Mac was the MVP. Your guy, the Silver Fox, he was the MVP. He was. He raised
Yeah.
all of them, and so that's why it's kind of cool that he has Cody to play with, his own real son. And hopefully they'll show us that. But it's kind of, but he had all these girls. He raised all the girls. That was his thing. He was there for everybody. Step parents are very important. I agree with that. I'm just saying. That's why I hate to say people say things like that. I go, just but you can't negate that also. And I'm just saying, Jason always thinks he's very level headed. He always thinks of the big picture and stuff. So I can see him saying, let's keep things the way they are for now, because Sam would want it that way. And we'll get to know each other. So there's two, I think it's like there's just two choices. I'm not saying I have one choice or the other. I'm just saying there's two choices there, I think. Because Drew will take Scout, clearly. I think she'll take Scout. He'll take Scout. Because it'll also help his campaign. That's his whole thing. And are we surprised? Nina wants to offer herself as arm candy.
It's crazy to me just how uh Nina has just gone like all in on Drew Quartermaine. Where yes, she knows that like she's where she thinks she's helping Willow. Like, oh, I'm gonna get Drew, but it's also she's going all in on this guy. And I'm like, oh man. I don't know. I don't know if I don't enjoy that version of Nina. I enjoyed more the kind of push and pull of the Nina and Drew relationship where they would push each other's buttons and stuff. But like this where she's just like all in now. Like, oh, I don't know. It's
Well,
like
go ahead.
it won't end well. That's all I'll say.
Well, I'm saying it's a very interesting thing because now we got Drew on Nina's advice, stepping down from Aurora and giving it to Curtis.
That I can understand Michael being like, huh?
Yeah, that's what I said. I go, how am I going to feel about this? And Michael was ready to go off for a second. But he said, well, you need an ALQ, an ELQ. Partially, he's right. He is busy trying to get that taken care of too. So, but he was still like, he was like, he wanted to say something, but he was like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, he wanted to say something. He wasn't happy with that. Because Homegirl was like, even you're the next to, even Nino's like, you're the next in line. I was your natural choice.
Yeah, just need it even inadvertently can't help but just
You
start
know,
stirring stuff up.
you know. So I thought that was very interesting. Yeah, Michael was supposed to say, he's like, hey, he didn't say anything. He wanted to. But Curtis, they're not doing the character service at all anyway these days. I think they're writing him horribly. I think they're giving him these dumb storylines. We saw a new set a while back, but now it's like, the wellness center said nobody cares. I'm like, this storyline, nobody cares at
Really?
all.
You didn't enjoy seeing Rick working on that treadmill and then saying to Curtis, like, this place is great. I got to get myself a membership.
And him going, well, you can go downstairs to the front desk and I'll help you. I was like, oh my God. It's such a dumb storyline. Now, if they could drop that part, have him run Aurora, I'll take that. But it's kind of weird because they're like, then they showed us the club and Nico was back and everything, going girls, he had lines. But it's like, but yeah, he has a club. So who's fucking running the club?
uh, maybe Hat Daddy is. I mean, certainly there doesn't seem to be any danger of Selena Wu coming in
Oh,
and
no,
causing trouble.
not at all. Don't get me started. Don't get me started on that also. Don't get me started on that.
But Curtis is, he's becoming like a Renaissance man. He's got multiple things. He's got a fitness empire, but he also has a fantastic bar music establishment. He's a man of multitudes, James. He just needs more to do. I still would have loved him. I'm always bummed that they never pulled the trigger on the WSB angle with Curtis. James, wake up. It's
Oh,
okay.
sorry. I fell asleep for a second there. I agree with you. No, Frank, that last thing you said, I agree with also. I thought, oh, great, this is good. I mean, what gets to that? And then him with Jack Brennan, I was,
Nope, it's all right. We just have him working. Uh, it's the way they keep talking about the which like I don't want to see it on camera, but just one of those things where it's like, oh my God, off the camera, you wouldn't believe the amazing stuff that we're doing with this fitness program for Aurora. Holy cow! Like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. It just seems so unbelievable that Drew would be like, yeah, because of that, I want you to be, CEO of Aurora. Okay. A job that Michael already had and was doing for a while. But no, 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 Michael, you just focus on the LQ. We're gonna let Curtis in. And then we have to see Portia like, look at you. Oh, my baby is getting that.
It's like he had his own company already. Why are we having to work for somebody else? I don't understand. I don't understand taking that away from him. Kind of. At least I guess he still has it. It just makes no sense to me. And like they don't know what to do with him. And like I'm like, and there's certain actors out there in the world where you can tell when they get certain roles, like you don't know what to do with them. You have an idea, kind of, but then you're like, the execution is just not good. The health club invention was pretty. Yeah, I know it's a pretty. I know it was the previous writer. It's just that's why I say it sucks. If they kept it on so far, maybe they'll let it go slowly, and he'll be focusing as CEO of Aurora. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't care about any of it. To tell you the truth, I don't care about LQ. I don't care. I mean, it's all like, but it does make sense. They have to figure something because Valentine is gone. I almost forgot he's the CEO of the fucking company.
It's true.
I totally forgot Frank when he said, I was like, oh, it's kind of like they got to do something because he's gone. They got to do something. And so I was like, well, see, if you hadn't gone with him and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like that's kind of true. But I was like, but I forgot all about that. So, because I don't really care about ELQ, but I forgot all about that. So I'll give points. I'll give points for that. They got to address that at some point because they're not the CEOs.
And
It's
then like
Valentine.
where Michael's like, the FBI can't find him. Are you saying you were gonna find him, Ned? Yes, I am.
They're all the times like, I think James would want to tell Michael about Drew and Willow. If we can end this storyline, I would love to go on the show and be the one to tell. Girl, you know who I am. My name is James Lott Jr. from JLJ Media. I'm going to tell you, Drew. I am so. When she tried to slide out, and he was like, I'll tell them." I'm like,
Yeah.
it's so far fetched. It's so this story. They're trying to do a mother daughter in love the same guy storyline. That's basically what they're trying to lead to, or in
Yeah.
lust with storyline. And but at the same time, you're trying to bring mother and daughter together. So, but Nina knows about her daughter, but the daughter doesn't know about her mother.
Yep.
So it's just like this whole storyline, just like okay, um, Drew's just a man whore. He's a whore. That's all he is, basically. A himbo. He's a whore, basically at this point, which is fine. I mean, you got beautiful chicks after you, sure. Um, but I don't know where the storyline's going, kind of, because Michael looks like a chump. He has no idea what's going on. He's a chump. Has no idea. And Willow is now just this panting. I changed my careers because of the. I mean, this whole. Like, it's just it's. I don't know. I mean, it's soapy on some level. I'll give him that. But I'm not a big fan, honestly.
I mean, I guess I appreciate that at least they're writing Willow as completely self-aware how stupid this whole thing is.
Yes, yes,
But
that's true.
and she can't realistically explain she struggles like saying exactly why she just can't like stop. She should. She knows it's bad. She shouldn't be doing it, and yet that she can't help being drawn to this terrible self-destructive choice blowing up her life by hooking up with Drew. But just do it already. We've seen enough of that kind of dancing around.
I
Like,
know.
let's just get it going.
Well, see, what folks forget sometimes is that Willow cheated on Chase with Michael. So she was a cheater before. Mr. Michael was chasing the wheelchair, and he walked up the stairs and saw them, and the whole thing. He was going to try to pretend like Anyway, so she's cheated before, folks. She's not innocent, as angelic as they try to make her seem. So I'm good to go with them. I mean, I know there's some folks saying he finds out and then Michael goes back to Sasha. I've heard that. I've also heard Michael and Nina. I thought that would be crazy. And that's see, Bold and Beautiful would do it because Bold has no shame. They don't give a fuck. They have no shame. She ain't something going to do that. But I was like, if Michael and Nina was end up in bed together, I would be laughing always. I'd applaud it just because it's something different. I don't think they're going to do it. But so folks don't start yelling at me. I don't think they're going to do it. I'm just saying I was hearing these different possibilities from people. And I was like, Sasha and Michael, of course, they were exes. She's into Cody. She knows everything's going on with Willow and Drew. So, I mean, once he finds out she knew, he'll be mad at her too. I said, but him and Nina would get along great, actually. They would get along fine. Wouldn't that be very interesting? Yes, and Carly would get her gun in a heartbeat. Woo! Just like Brenda, it'd be hilarious. I mean, I would just see it one time. I would, or even they pretend they got drunk, fell into bed, they thought things. I mean, I would take any of it. And for Carly to find out, or for Sonny to find out, oh my god, it's a good comedy. It's a good comedy, soapy comedy.
James, the way you talked that up, I'd want to see that. Like, if you're gonna
Sold.
Drew and Willow,
He's sold.
let's blow it up and get Michael and Nina. Let's do it. Why
Let's
not?
do it. Well, I said, imagine Michael and Nina in bed together, and Carly walks in. Oh my God, Carly! And if they had Nina not play the apologist and be just like, "Hi, mother," or something, like some really funny line, I'm all in. I'm all in. Does that sound great, Frank? That's really amazing. Now, I don't need them to be together in a relationship or anything like that, but it's like a one-off. It's something just like they just were drunk and all this stuff, and that's it. I mean, that would be amazing. And Willow would feel bad, but she can't say shit because she's busy. I mean, it just and then Michael goes after Aurora, tries to get it himself. Try to say maybe he sides with Ned, adding against Drew. I mean, they can say the again. The storyline's so boring. Let's zhuzh it up. I'm ready. I'm ready, Frank.
Uh, it is interesting to see on in the battle of Drew versus Michael where other Quartermaines would fall.
Exactly. Right.
Because you feel like, well, Drew's not been around for a minute, but he is Alan's son.
Right.
So uh, while Michael is AJ's son.
This is
No.
funny, Frank. He's close to Brooklyn. Him and Brooklyn, they've always been kind of close, cousins. She's
Yeah.
not that close to Drew. So maybe she would fall on that side. Tracy, which side she would fall would be very interesting.
I think she goes Drew, just because of Alan. Because
Oh, interesting.
Like
Okay.
AJ,
Okay.
she never really thought much of
Okay.
AJ. So I don't think Michael buys much by being AJ's son.
Okay, I'll give you that. Okay, I'll give you that one. Okay, I'll give you that one. That's funny. Okay, I'll give you that one. Okay. And then we have would be Ned. Would Ned say, okay, Michael, let's we're the original Quartermaines, basically. Let's team up together and get Aurora and ELQ out of everybody's hands.
I feel like Tracy would have that connection to Alan. I feel like Ned would go by longevity that he's known them. So I could see him going with Michael over Drew.
Okay, yeah.
Monica, man, it's tough because like that's like her son, but it's a grandson.
Yeah.
That Monica could go either way on that one.
Yes, I agree too. People agree Tracy was side with oh no, actually disagree. Daisy Fire thinks Tracy was side with Michael.
I don't know. I,
Interesting. David loves my premise. I love it. I know. Tracy admires Michael. She
I mean,
praises him every once in a while. She'll praise him side eyely, is that word. But she praises him adjacent. She praises adjacent to him sometimes. So you go, yeah, he did a good job, or yeah, he's a Quartermaine too, kind of. But you're right, but she's very begrudgingly about it though. So Frank's kind of right also. I mean, Drew, she's not really a big fan of Drew either, but he is Alan's son.
and
So
he
that's
took the name. He took the last name.
his last name. And she kind of smiled. But she didn't like it at first, but she kind of smiled. So I don't know. And then you got, I mean, So I don't know, but I think that. But anyway, I think my scenario is better. So I don't. So writers at home, writers on GH, it's yours.
Let's do it.
I don't need any credits because you're right. The bottom line is what needs to happen at this point. This pace is going too slow too. Like I said, for how fast they're going and other stuff, this is just too slow. We don't see the same longings after a while. It's okay, we get it.
Yeah.
We get
I
it.
I really thought when they hooked up after McConkey, when they were up in his office when McConkey died, I really thought that it was they were really gonna hook up, but they just stopped after those kisses, those
They
gentle
did.
little.
Gentle. They
Oh,
did.
I was like, oh,
So
come on, man, pull the trigger, let's do this.
yes. So I don't know. So there's that. we missing? Are we missing? I mean, we've been on for almost 2 hours. Are we missing anything? Did we get everything this week?
Yeah, I think
We did.
we
Hey,
have.
chat. Tell me if we missed anything.
Oh, I did like about the Rick scene with Ava in the gallery when he agreed to represent her. Where it's like, where he was like, I will do this, but I will also bury you. If
Oh
so,
yeah, because I mean, Ava's like, I did not, because Ava really did push her, not really. And again, why is no one addressing the flimsy craftsmanship of the fucking hotel? Why we not looking? Why aren't Tracy? Why aren't Olivia and Carly brought on this too? With that flimsy window, you should not be able to fall out a window like that. I go to hotels, windows are like bolted down. They're heavy pane windows. Like, can we like talk about that for a second? Like, for me, she should have banged against it, maybe cracked her head and fell on the ground. But she fucking fell through, did pirouette flips on the way down into some water.
still one of the best moments in a
Oh yeah,
long
oh, I mean, I
time.
agree. I totally
Yeah.
agree. But I'm saying they're not talking about that at all. It's just like she. I mean, it's like it's. Ava did not do it. Sorry, folks. Um, she tried to push her off of her a little bit, but she didn't push her out the window. Homegirl lost her balance, tripped over the bag of goodies, and went out that weak ass window. I'm like, I don't get it. I'm like, no one's talking about it. I'm like, remember, I didn't even get a phone call. She's like, what happened? Why did anybody call me? Yeah, why did anybody call you? Like, I would never say the Mitchell court ever again. Shit, I mean, it's crazy.
I would like to see like the Yelp reviews, like, don't lean against those windows.
The Mitchell court. I mean, come on. Don't get a room over the pool or get a room over the pool. Willoughby
We
from a weirdo cult where sexual lines were blurred to say what you do. Where was Olivia in that scene with Ned and Michael? Yeah, it wasn't Olivia, right? It wasn't Olivia. It was Lois.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Olivia had an off day that day. She was at the Metro Court, running stuff.
Yes. Christina pushed herself out the window. I saw it. Hi, Jay, Sunday shift. Our buddies over there, our girls over there. Hello. So I saw with a winky face. That's pretty funny. Um, she felt. I mean, it was spectacular. We loved it. It was great. Alexis, no case. Wait, I'm just saying. The point is kind of just that it's very much that window was so flimsy. Like the people don't fall out of windows in hotels, so it's kind of like but no one's talking about it. But yeah, we don't know. Well, Scotty, I hear Ken Schreiner's recovering from some kind of surgery, but he's saying looking for a job too. So I mean, he's a drama queen. Go on. I love Ken Schreiner, but he just is hilarious. He's like looking for a job. He heard he's had his foot surgery or something, or leg surgery or something. He's like looking for a job.
Other scenes that we did get Stella and Trina, where
That's
Stella's like,
fun. That's fun.
we just got to get you back to school, at least
Yeah.
start doing a little something to get moving in life.
Yeah.
Which and I did like that rationale. It's like, the future you will very much appreciate you doing stuff right now.
Yeah.
And then we also had uh uh Sonny and Eva LaRue's scene.
Oh yeah, that's how she brought her some champagne or whatever, because she got a big deal or whatever. I heard rumors, folks. Don't know if they're true, but I heard rumors that are bringing back Blaze, and so that's why they're holding on to Natalia, because they're going to bring back a family around her. I don't know if that's true or not. Don't know. I just don't see a use for her. She doesn't. Her character does nothing for me anymore now. There's nothing for me.
Uh, I don't know. Only because I would like to see an investment in like that, that kind of relationship between between Christina and Blaze on camera, because we never really get to see that in any kind of, major way at all on GH. I would want to see it back for that, but you're right. I mean, other than and maybe they use Blaze being on tour, she comes back with something that, you know, if they do a recast, uh,
Right.
and they give her some storyline generated by her tour, maybe that helps.
Yeah. Give her hold my breath. But that character does nothing for me. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. I think it's everything right now. We got it
Yeah.
all. Folks, we got it all. 95 minutes. 75 people are watching. Thank you for watching us. Thank you, Dave, for our super chat. Make sure you hit the like button, the thumbs up button. Yeah, I know most of you guys are already do it already, but make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. I'm getting close to 6,000 subscribers, so we're getting there.
Woo!
Uh, I know we're getting there. Frank, your emails.
All right. Well, let's see here.
Let's see where he's at right now, kids. I'm scared.
Uh,
MEB
just a modest.
306 555. Those are your numbers today. 306 555. Play them.
That's true.
Play them.
Uh,
306. Oh my God, Frank. Are we going for 350 now? 400? What are we going for now?
I feel through my inactivity, and lack of making any forward decisions about this, we will just naturally
What would
get
be
to that.
crazy if you had a million unread emails?
James, don't dangle that
I
carrot
know,
around.
I know. It's like that. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Folks, we'll be back next week for our 9-year anniversary, and we'll also recap the week that was in Port Charles. I do want to thank you guys all for watching us over the years and continue to watch us and listen to. I mean, our audio listen. I want to tell you, it's one of my number one shows on audio. So thank you so much for listening to us. A lot of times you guys listen to us on Monday mornings. A lot of times we get a big bump on Mondays. So on your way to work or your day afterwards, thanks for listening to us. We appreciate it. I know Frank appreciate it. I appreciate it. Um,
Yeah,
we do the
don't think
show.
anybody will let just Matt and Kat take that #1 ranking on JLJ Media without a fight.
Oh, it's gonna probably change now because once we release our show on audio, it'll do its thing.
There we go.
Hi, Sandra. Hi, Latasha. Annie, David, Luther, Devin, Rebecca, Daisy Flower. I know some more in here, but thank you so much for always watching us and tuning in. Yeah, that's it for now. We'll talk to you guys next time.